Michal
Michal
Depa.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's like
cheers, brother.
Michal.
Welcome
Cheers.
from Poland all the way.
Thank
So
you for an invitation.
Of course, dude. Thank you so much for coming. We got a holiday spiced old fashioned over here, so I'm excited to see what you
I'm
taste.
super exciting actually to taste it.
So smell it first up top. What do you get? What notes do you get?
Like a lot of citrus.
A lot of citrus. I'll
Yeah.
taste it.
Oh, it's spicy.
So it's not that spicy. It's the holiday spice.
Yeah, but
So the
it is
cassia, the cinnamon. Yeah.
yeah, but it's really good.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, and it's really hard. Like tough alcohol.
Yeah,
inside.
it's tough. So the whole thing about an old fashioned, it's supposed to be more enjoyable as it sits. You're not supposed to drink it quickly.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Ah,
So it's like
so it's super different than the story that you told me like a few months ago about dying situation with cocktails. So like the cocktails dying. I mean, like the cocktails has its own life, like
Yes.
for 5 minutes or something like that.
yes. Yeah, so old fashions have a longer life than most cocktails.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it gets more enjoyable as we go.
So it's a good cocktail actually for a conversation because it will last long.
It lasts a
so
long
we
time.
can talk long.
Heck yeah, we were just talking about how the differences between like the U.S. and Poland. It's your first time in America, right?
Yeah.
Well, what has been the biggest like culture shock for you?
Actually, everything was a big culture shock because everything in America, as far as I've seen it right now, it's the same.
The
But
same in what way?
Like everything is the same, you know. Like people looks the same actually in Europe. Buildings looks the same. Cars looks the same because I know every actually brand that I see here.
There's European cars out here for sure.
Yeah. But everything is different. Like everything is bigger. Everything is more colorful.
Yeah.
Like people are much more happier.
You think so?
Yeah. And they are really polite. Like you are on the street and everyone is like greeting you. Hi, sir. Hi, how are you? How was your day?
Where was
and in
this?
Poland, actually on every street in LA. You know, yesterday I just went out for a jogging and every actually one I was seeing was like waving me, smiling at me.
That's interesting because like a lot of people think LA is the not nice version of the United States. Because like if you go to places like the South, it's like Southern hospitality, or Texas, like a lot more people say like hi. But that's interesting that you said that. That means like there's still some good in LA.
yeah. Like from my perspective, it's like super easy actually to be here and to have a chat with people and to make a small conversation. It's like super easy.
You said
It's
that
fantastic for me.
everything is bigger here.
Yeah.
You were looking at my kitchen and he was like, this is like a industrial sized like stove.
Yeah.
Because you think the stove is probably what, like 2 feet by like 1 foot all the way up.
Whatever our feet.
whatever feet is.
Yeah.
Because what you guys kilometers over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have
metric system.
Metric system. So
it's probably the smarter thing to do. I don't know why US is so weird about it.
Because,
feet is like doesn't make sense. Like
I had a conversation today with my girlfriend. She was living here for like 8 years.
Shouts out Cornelia.
Yeah. And we were talking about actually the Fahrenheit and Celsius and differences and what actually metrics are better. And she told me that from her perspective, Fahrenheit are more accurate. And maybe that's the thing, because like
more accurate in what way?
Because like you have a larger scale. So there is a
so you could get to a better degree.
Yeah. Because, you know, from my perspective right now today, I don't know, it's like 50 Celsius.
Okay.
15 Celsius, and it's like 64 Fahrenheit, yeah?
It's about 64 Fahrenheit.
And there will be a big difference between 15 degrees in Celsius and 20.
Okay.
But that's not a lot.
Yeah.
And here it will be a difference between 65 Fahrenheit and, I don't know, 80.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of space actually to do something in between.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I didn't really think about it because I thought U.S. people were just like, it doesn't make sense that 12, I guess, inches equals 1 foot versus metric system, everything's in by tens,
Yeah.
hundreds,
Yeah.
thousands,
Yeah.
10,000s. So it's easy to calculate.
Yeah, it is easy to calculate, and actually it is really visible, for example, in culinary books or when you are in baking.
Yeah.
Everything is actually in metrics.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot easier to measure.
It's a lot easier. So even American bakers are actually writing their own books, and they put the thing in grams,
Yeah.
for example, because it's easier.
For American books.
Yeah.
Grams doesn't make sense either.
Yeah.
Or grams
For
does
you.
make sense.
Yeah, grams make sense.
It makes sense for you.
Yeah, because it's pounds.
yeah.
Like I was in Tartin bakery because like for me it's
Santa Monica, right?
Santa Monica
We were
in the
talking-
church.
We were talking about it.
Yeah.
Because you were like, you have to go check it out. You live there, dude.
Yeah, because
When we were in Poland.
yeah, but
Was it awesome? Was it everything that you thought it was?
yeah, yeah. Actually, all my expectations are like super met.
What did you have?
I've tried the baguette
Okay.
and the country loaf.
Okay. It's just bread.
No, it's not just bread.
Oh,
it's like
sorry.
it's like super bread.
Super
like
bread.
it is something for your striving on. Yeah, like it's your ultimate goal. They perfected that, and it's like.
Can you explain it to me? Because for someone who's not in the baking area,
Yeah.
like I treat cocktails similar to like I guess like food.
Yeah.
Like I make certain recipes, right, and I come up with like a cocktail. And for me, what you just said, like a baguette, that just sounds like bread to me, right?
Yeah,
And
because basically it is.
sure, but like I guess how do you describe like a higher quality bread than other? Like how why
What's the
was
differences?
why was all your expectations met when you came here for it?
There is a huge difference between actually the bread that you can buy at your regular store,
Okay.
especially that one that I'm thinking of. A lot of Americans are used to, like the one packed in foil, because it's super popular here. Am I right?
In foil.
In foil,
I
like
don't know.
like the bread packed.
I haven't had bread in foil at all. I don't know
No.
what you're talking about.
But in Vons, for example, there were
Are you just talking about the
like
loaf?
Wonder Bread, for
Okay,
example.
Wonder
It's like packed.
Sure.
Yeah, and
Oh, it's not necessarily foil. It's just packed in like plastic.
it's plastic.
Plastic,
yeah.
yes.
So that's not the foil.
No.
Okay. So in plastic. Sorry
Okay,
for that. Yeah.
no worries.
And so there is a huge difference between actually that kind of packed bread and the bread that is making in an artisanal way.
What's the difference?
The difference is like from the perspective of fermentation.
Okay.
The big companies producing breads are making the process super quick.
Okay.
So they are putting the flour, the water, the yeast. They are fermenting it for like 1 hour,
Okay.
baking that for like 30 minutes, and it's out. It's done. And
So-
they are packing it and putting to the shops. But if you are doing that in an artisanal way, in an old-fashioned way, like the bread was being done in the past, it's
Yeah.
like you have your sourdough.
Sourdough. I love sourdough.
Yeah.
Sourdough's awesome.
Which gives you the specific flavor profile and a lot of actually the goods that make you feel better. And it's also like the natural
goods that make you feel better. What do you mean?
yeah, like the thing that actually giving food for your microbes,
Okay.
and you're feeling good because your guts are feeling good.
Sure.
Yeah.
But there's a thing with that. That's interesting you say that, because a lot of people, when they associate like bread to diet, they think it's bad.
Yeah, because
know.
they are thinking about the commercial bread, like Wonder Bread.
So you're saying artisanal bread is good for you?
Totally,
Really?
100%, because like fermented good. So I'm getting back to the process. So you have your own sourdough,
Yes.
and you are mixing that with the flour, the water,
The yeast.
and no,
No,
because
okay.
actually sourdough is a natural agent of leavening the dough.
Okay.
So you don't need yeast. Sometimes you can use it, but you don't have to.
So it's just flour and
It's just
water.
flour and water, because actually sourdough is also flour and water and the bacteria.
How do you make it sour?
You are making the
Because it's not sour, but you know what I'm saying.
it is sour
Yeah.
because it's like fermented. So you're
Okay.
just putting water and flour
Yeah.
together, and you're waiting for a couple of days between you are mixing that,
Sure.
and you have to actually be absolutely sure that it is fermenting in a good temperature.
Uh-huh.
It should be like a warm, natural temperature of probably 70 Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Let's put it like that. And after, I don't know, maybe 7 days, you have your own sourdough.
Okay.
It will be much more easier if you have the old sourdough or sourdough from someone else, because if you have the starter, like the old sourdough, and you put the flour and water in it, you are feeding the starter.
You're
and feeding, because you are always feeding
okay.
the sourdough.
Okay.
Because it's like living,
It's a living
organism. Yeah, because it's full of bacteria and natural yeasts, wild yeast. So you have your own sourdough. You are adding water, flour. You are mixing that, kneading that, and you have your bulk dough.
Bulk dough,
Like a dough in a bulk.
Okay.
You are fermenting that I'm doing it for like 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
I'm stretching that also, folding it.
Kneading it too?
Yeah. It's called fold, actually.
It's
making
called
folds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're doing this with your hands?
Yeah,
okay.
Always with my hands. And after that, I'm making a bread.
Okay.
Like I'm shaping that.
Sure.
And then I put it to the basket and directly to the fridge.
The fridge?
No, to the fridge. So I'm making a cold fermentation, which actually takes from 12 to even 24 hours.
Okay.
And after that time, I'm just taking it out from the fridge and directly to the oven.
Okay.
So my process actually can take up to 36 hours.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. So look at that. Commercial bread, 1.5 hours of making bread. Artisanal one, more than 30 hours.
That's crazy.
So there is something missing in between. That is why the sourdough bread is good for you, because it's naturally fermented. So it's like kimchi, for example.
That's interesting.
It's super good for your guts.
I feel like a lot of people don't think that.
Yeah, because actually a lot of people don't know the facts that's standing behind the bread and the science about that.
How did you get into baking?
I had a small cafe in the past, and I was doing good, but my father actually started making a sourdough breads because he wanted actually to make something that tastes as it was in the past, because in the past actually...
Well, I guess before the cafe, obviously you just didn't start a cafe and you didn't have any baking experience, right?
No, I had, but I had a sweet baking experience. So I was.
What do you mean?
I was baking brownies, making some kind of sweet stuff.
Okay.
But I was not into actually the salty thing and the breads.
Oh. So you got the cafe before learning how to make bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start the cafe?
I had actually business with plants.
Okay.
So I was importing and selling a lot of indoor plants.
Oh, indoor plants.
Indoor plants,
okay.
Yeah. I was importing that even from Thailand.
Okay.
And I was selling that in Poland, and it was really good business. And I wanted, to actually engage my customers in a different way. So I thought, because I had a big plant shop in Poznań, Poland.
Yeah.
So I wanted actually my customers to spend more time with me in the shop.
Okay.
But how much time can you spend actually in a plant shop?
Not that long.
Not that long. So I thought that maybe if I will open up a cafe when you can drink your coffee in a surrounding of the beautiful plants, it will be super exciting.
And would they be able to buy these plants?
Yeah, everyone actually. Every plant was for sale. So
that's interesting.
That was interesting concept, and that was actually...
Did it do well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I left that because my dad actually wanted to open up an artisanal bakery.
Okay.
In my hometown.
Got it.
So
hometown of?
The town of?
Yeah.
It's
what's the town?
It's Zgorzelec.
Zgorzelec. Zgorzelec.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually on the Polish-German border.
Okay.
And the town that is situated next to Zgorzelec is Görlitz.
Okay.
And Görlitz might be actually well known to Americans.
Okay.
Because that's the place where, for example, Glorious Bastard was filmed.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
And Görlitz is like a European Hollywood.
Oh,
there are a lot of... Wes Anderson was filming it.
I thought Warsaw is
yeah, because it's capital. It's a super big city.
Yeah.
But Görlitz is really pretty. It's a small... it's a small city that looks like it was in medieval,
Okay.
like that
Medieval times.
medieval
like,
times,
Looks like old
yeah,
school.
yeah,
Very
really
classy.
old school. Yeah, a lot of walls.
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically, back to your cafe
Yeah.
in Görlitz.
yeah.
Okay.
No, cafe was in Poznań.
Pause it.
So
Okay.
the bakery was in Zgorzelec, Görlitz.
Okay.
So I get there and I'm starting to learning actually how to bake breads from my dad.
Okay.
From my dad, because he had a little experience, but he
Okay.
also taught everything actually by himself.
Oh, like internet.
Yeah,
From
like from internet, from books.
Okay.
So and just try and look what it will.
Trial and error.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought at that time that how long actually learning making a bread can take me, like maybe 3 months, and I will be ready to open up my own
Cafe.
bakery actually in maybe the bigger city.
Yeah.
But after 1 year long,
Little did you know.
I knew little. So it was super hard actually for me to.
Why do you
to
think
learn.
that it took so long? Why did you think that you could get it done in 3 months? Like,
Because-
what's so hard about it that you can't learn it faster than that?
I didn't have a mentor.
Okay.
The good one actually with really wide knowledge, who can show me the way. I had actually to find my own way in baking.
Okay.
And actually, from perspective, right now, I think it's really good for me that it took me so long because I really deep dive into that process and everything.
How did you dive deep into it?
Because I had to try everything
Sure.
actually to achieve the loaf I was seeing on Instagram.
Yeah.
For example, from Tartine.
Okay.
So I had the book from Tartine, and I was just
they have their
doing
book.
that.
They have their own book.
Of course, they
Oh.
had like 4, I think.
Really?
Yeah. So it was like a basic thing for me to open up the book and just try to achieve what there is in this book.
So if you follow the instructions right to a T,
Yeah.
and say you like step 1 through step 20, right? And then at the end, it does not look like the picture on.
It 100% will not look like that.
Why?
Because actually, the
Because
prescription.
you followed all the steps correctly, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but there is a lot of into practice. So making a bread is super easy from my perspective right now.
Yeah.
And if you would like, I can teach you like in, I don't know, 1 week.
Okay.
And you will be a perfect baker.
Sure.
But if you are starting just for your own
Yeah.
and you just have YouTube videos and a book and you are following the instructions, it will be maybe okay, but it will not look good. And probably it will not also taste like
On point.
Yeah. Because there is a huge differences between flours, for example. So when you are reading the Tartine book, they are using the flours from here, from California. And in Europe, we have totally different flours.
Oh, I heard the flowers in Europe though are a lot more organic. They're very good.
Yeah, they are. For example, here I have heard that there are a lot of commercial flowers
Yeah.
and commercial like I don't have words. Grains.
Grains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so like American farmers are using a lot of the not good things, fertilizers.
Oh,
let's
they're not good fertilizers.
not good
Oh.
fertilizers. And in Europe, especially in Ukraine
Yeah.
or in Poland, we have a lot of organic farming. So they are using still the natural fertilizers.
Okay.
So it's easy actually to get a good kind of flour in Poland, but it's not so easy actually to adjust the flour to the
Book.
to the book or to the baking that actually or to the results that you want to achieve.
Because it's a totally different flour.
Yeah, it's totally different flour.
So why didn't you search out for like a mentor to help you like learn? Because like you said that it would have sped up the process for you.
Yeah. So I was looking for someone, but not a lot of people into baking wanted to share knowledge with me. So I was like, writing to someone on Instagram who I was admiring,
Like his work.
and they told me like, I don't have time for that, like. And there was a lot of responses like
Sure.
that. So people are not willing, were not willing
Okay.
actually to share their experiences with me because that was the fact. I had my own bakery.
Yeah.
So I was like, for them,
Competition.
a competition.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to share actually their knowledge with me. If I would be a home baker,
Yeah.
probably the situation will look like.
So this
will be
bakery is
different.
different than your cafe.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
different company.
So you,
I left the cafe
okay,
to
so
my partner.
You still have the bakery,
Yeah.
but are you there every single day?
No, right now actually my father is taking care of the business every day.
Okay.
And I am here. I am in Warsaw, so I moved to Warsaw, and I partner with my friends in Warsaw, and we set up a new company. It's actually right now it's catering company.
Catering company for
Yes,
baking.
for no for baking, but for all of the stuff. But also we have a small bakery
Yeah.
in the restaurant, so I'm baking almost every day.
Yeah.
But right now I'm super focused about researching stuff. And I'm not baking like a regular breads, but I'm looking for something really interesting and really new. For example, I'm fermenting water from tomatoes,
Okay.
and I'm trying to make a bread only on this water without even sourdough. So I'm trying to leavening my bread
Okay.
without sourdough, without using sourdough. Or
Yeah.
recently, I even did a bread with the SCOBY.
Kobe.
SCOBY.
I don't know what
SCOBY.
that
It's
is.
like a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast.
Okay.
It's the thing actually used for kombuchas making.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
the gross thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just use it
Yeah.
as a natural leavener for the bread.
What makes you think? What inspired you? I guess to start this cafe. What inspired you to start the bakery? What inspired you to like build all these businesses? Because like, there's like a philosophy that says, like that you won't be really good at a ton of things if you're doing everything. Does that make sense? But also there's
Perfectly.
like, you know, but you've started all these things and you keep moving on and moving on and move on. And why not just like, I guess like grow the cafe to like the best cafe in your hometown, or build the bakery to the best cafe and the best bakery in Poland, and then you're moving on right now, right? Why don't you just build that to like the best catering company in Poland? You know?
I'm just responding right now. So the cafe was a really good business,
Yeah.
but it was like selling coffee, selling cafe,
Yeah.
and selling something that actually someone else produced.
Sure.
And I was just like a middleman. And that was not my way.
Yeah.
So starting bakery was it because the product was totally on me.
Okay.
So it was just my creation. And that was super interesting for me and super stimulating. So I find out then that it's something I would like to pursue in life, like creation of something. And I totally get into baking, and I'm not planning actually to resign it.
Okay.
So still, there is a bakery in Zgorzelec.
Okay.
Right now I'm making these things with breads in Warsaw, and I'm still looking actually my way to actually set up a wonderful bakery in Poland, which will be the best bakery in Poland.
Okay.
But
So there's plans
there
coming
are
up.
plans, yeah. But I know that actually it will take me a lot of time
Sure.
to nurture the thing.
Everything good takes time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm really into fermentation, and every business actually that I'm making
Has fermentation in it.
is about fermentation.
So it's kind of like cross training.
Yes. Yeah.
Cross training.
Yeah.
So like all these things that you're doing is making your, I guess, like whole craft better.
Yeah.
Ah.
And that's it.
So do you agree with the fact that a lot of people say cooking is an art and baking is a science?
Yeah, 100%.
Why?
Because in cooking, you are really free. Like, you want to make something taste good, and you are just experimenting. Like, you have this kind of thing, this kind of ingredient, and you're mixing it, and it turns out okay.
Okay.
And the next time, you are totally mixing it in a different way,
Yeah.
and it's okay, but different, but it was like the same base.
Sure.
And it's okay. Like, that's cooking.
Okay.
But if you're baking,
Yeah.
that kind of experiments will probably end well.
Add badly.
Add badly.
Okay.
Because actually every gram is really important.
Wow.
So if you have a formula,
Okay.
you have to follow the formula, because it's a chemistry. Like you're adding flour, water, and time and temperature. And everything has to be actually accurate. Because if you will be too creative,
Yeah.
it will be not a good connection in that kind of way,
Yeah.
and you will get a failure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess
So
like
it's,
how do you make baking creative then if cooking is an art and baking is a science?
Yeah, if you get the good understanding of the basis in a baking, you know actually the tiny space for experimenting is. So, but you have to really be actually good in the basic. So if you know how to make a basic sourdough loaf,
Sure.
you know that you have like really tiny spot for adding something
To make it creative.
to make it creative. Yeah,
Okay.
because a really small addition,
Yeah.
add in,
Sure.
can make a huge difference. So, for example, recently I made a water from tomatoes mixed with some citrus,
Okay.
and I removed the whole water
Okay.
from the basic formula from bread,
Yeah.
and put the water from tomatoes and the citrus. Because I knew that it will have the almost the same level of hydration,
Okay. Similar structure.
similar structure, and it should went well.
It should go okay.
Yeah, but
Based
it
on-
didn't.
Oh, it didn't.
But it didn't.
So there's
that
still
was the
like
creativity.
so that's like the fine line of just like you're messing around with like the basic formula, but still sometimes it won't go well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So correct me if I'm wrong. Is this similar for cocktail making?
yeah.
Right. There's like 6 like classic cocktails. You know, there's like the martini, the old fashioned, the Manhattan, similar things like that. And like you could put a riff on it, but every cocktail is based on those like 5 or 6 cocktails. Is that similar to baking?
Totally,
100%.
totally.
Okay.
So like you have a few basic formulas for breads, like for country loaf or for just plain loaf made with just a wheat,
Yeah.
and you can mix it a little bit, but there are not a lot of space actually for you to be so creative. But you can add something
That's something.
that will be your staple. Yeah.
What has, I guess, creativity done for you? Why does making things from nothing with your own hands like inspire you or like give you some sort of like joy or happiness?
Now, the thing about creativity from my perspective is that, it is when I'm making something on my own with my hands or with my thoughts, it is like the expression of me, like of everything that I'm learned from life, of everything I experienced, and I can share with people something that I am good in, and if I see that it makes them happy, or they tasting something and they are really enjoying it, it's super inspiring for me to actually make it wider, to make it more, to make it better. So
where do you think
I like serve people actually.
you like making people happy?
Yeah,
From
I'm
the-
like a
from the
people
things-
pleaser.
People pleaser from the things you make.
Yeah.
Where do you think like I guess these ideas come from? Because I guess you have the staples, right?
Yeah.
You have the sourdough bread. You have the croissants. You have the pain chocolat. Like you have all these basic like formulas that
Cookies.
Yeah, cookies.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to make cookies, though, right?
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So
There actually in making cookies there are a lot of creativity possible. Yeah.
I feel like cookies is like you have a very wide range of like
Yeah.
you could be that creativity is a little bit bigger
Yeah,
than
totally.
like the breads.
Totally.
Right? So I guess like you're making all these things and where do you think the creativity comes from to like, oh, I decided to take tomatoes and take the water out of it and like put it in like a bread. Like that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
like,
that's weird.
But you thought that there's a potentiality of something great.
Yeah.
And for me, like I'll think of like an idea of like I'll see fruits, right? And I went home and I saw persimmons, right? Do you know what persimmons are?
Yeah, of course.
So like a lot of people in LA don't know what persimmons are.
Okay.
And
So they're not super popular here.
not super popular,
Okay.
but they were really popular in my hometown, right? And I was like, oh, like persimmons,
From which city?
Fresno, California. So it's
Okay.
basically in between LA and San Francisco, right in the middle,
Okay.
right? And I was like, oh, that sounds like a dope idea for like bitters. Like I'll make that. And like, where do you think like these ideas come from to like make something that was not initially like in the world?
I think it's you're collecting a lot of data. You're experience a lot of things. You're eating something, and everything can inspire you.
Yeah.
So I was recently I was reading a book about fermentation, written by chef of Noma, René Redzepi,
Okay.
and they put actually a recipe in the book about fermenting tomato water,
Okay.
and that was it. So I've read the recipe. I thought, okay, the fermented water from tomatoes might be interesting, so I made it. I fermented that, and then I thought, what it will be like if I remove all the water and I will put the tomato water in a bread. Maybe that could be interesting, but I don't know. So let's try it.
Sure.
I tried.
Okay.
And it failed.
Okay.
But it was
So it comes from like
the second attempt.
So it comes from the inspiration of like just like the things that you've read or the experiences you've had.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can eat something interesting here, for example.
Sure, and it'll inspire you.
Yeah, it will inspire me. Like you're talking about persimmons. Maybe it will came up that after 2 months of our conversation ends, I will think, persimmons. Maybe I will do something with that and put it into bread or into cookie.
Sure.
Maybe it will turn out interesting.
Have you had a persimmon bread or persimmon cookie before?
No.
So good.
So that can be interesting.
So my family used to make it.
The bread with persimmons or
Persimmon bread and persimmon cookies. But it's kind of different. Like when I had persimmon cookies, it tasted like bread. Does that make sense?
Persimmon cookies?
Cookies.
Tastes like bread?
So the way that my family made it, it was very, I guess, soft. Super soft cookie, but it had the texture of bread.
But the cookie was with butter?
Yes.
Yeah, with butter.
Yeah.
Okay, so flour, butter, sugar, probably.
I'm not too sure. But like, yeah, I'm interested to see if you could do something with it. Because like, I think what I had as a child, like, it was similar to like cookie bread.
Okay.
Not cookie.
Cookie bread.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. But were you putting something on the cookie? Or you were just
So basically
it
would be a persimmon cookie with like hazelnuts or like chocolate chip. That's what like my grandma would make all the time.
Okay.
I don't know how she did it.
And it looked like a chocolate chip cookie, for example?
It looked like it, but you could
it
look at
big?
it's like this big, but you look at it, you could tell it's not firm like most normal cookies.
Okay.
Like it was just soft throughout versus like, a cookie, like at a good cookie, it's going to be like pretty firm on the outside, but super like gooey or like
inside.
on the inside.
That's a perfect cookie.
Yeah, it's a perfect cookie. But like that never was my experience with that type of cookie.
Okay.
So
it's interesting, actually. It's worth trying. It's worth trying.
Yeah.
And that kind of conversation is inspiring.
Sure.
So I'm 100% sure that I will just
mess around.
Yeah.
Where do you think, I guess, like, how does it make you feel that you'll have like an idea, right, about a business or about
ideal?
Say that again.
What did you say? Ideal?
How do you feel when you like have a business idea?
A business idea. Yeah.
Idea or you have an idea about some sort of cookie or some sort of bread, and it turns out great. So the business turns out great, and it's a real thing. This idea in your head was just like nothing, and now
just like an idea.
Just an idea, and now you have like this cafe with plants and like brownies and cookies, and you're like, wow, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And you accomplished it.
Yeah.
And like what was just a thought is now a reality. How does that feel when you actually, I guess, like have a real thing versus that you converted from just an idea?
That feels amazing.
How so?
Yeah, because I the situation that actually you achieved something that was initially only your thought.
Yeah.
Super amazing, because it was nothing at the very beginning, and then you put your all. Actually, you put everything that you have inside you, all hard work, all your experience, and you converted that actually into real thing.
Yeah.
And that's it. And if you are a creative person and you want to create something in the life, that's actually the thing that you have to follow. So actually you have to trust your feelings, trust your instincts, and then actually put a lot of work in that.
Yeah.
Because it's okay, we can talk right now that it's super interesting and making loaves, making breads, setting up a company is super easy.
Sure.
It's not. It's there is a lot of hard work behind that.
Yeah.
But we're not talking a lot about the work actually that is necessary for making that. So
I guess what
if I want,
go ahead.
let me just finish that. If I want to make actually the perfect bread,
Sure.
I need to wake up, for example, at 3 a.m. Every day
for a long
for
period of
like
time.
3 years.
Yeah.
So that was my history. So that was tough.
Sure.
But right now,
it's all sunshine and rainbows. It looks like so good. No one saw you waking up every day at 3 a.m. for 3 years.
Yeah. And no one actually saw you striving.
Everyone saw you putting in the work.
Yeah.
To, I guess, accomplish like day at a time.
Yeah. Because everyone actually see the initial process, the third thing, the inspiration, thought, and the result.
Yeah.
No one see actually the
middle part.
The middle part.
Yeah. What advice do you have for people who like have these crazy ideas, who want to start like some crazy business or produce this product, right? And like they have the idea, but the idea's been in their head for like 5 years, 6 years, 20 years, like, and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, like this and that, and they, how do you, I guess, get someone to pull the trigger and start? Like, what advice do you have?
First advice: don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job.
Okay. Why?
Just be there.
Just be
there because it's like super stabilizing you. You have like something that not making you nervous because you have money for living.
It pays your bills.
Yeah, pays your bills. Yeah.
Okay.
So don't quit it. First of all.
Okay.
And then if you want to do something in food industry, just open up your mom's kitchen.
Sure.
And start doing things. Because, for example, Mars company, the super known actually company from States.
Whose company?
Mars Incorporated. The guys are making Mars sneakers, Twix, you know.
Oh yes,
Mars.
Yeah.
So it was all started in the kitchen.
Company.
The candy, candy. Also candy, but it's food. It's really really big. So it's also started in the kitchen.
Okay.
Frank Mars just started making the Mars bar.
Mars bar.
In his own kitchen.
Got it.
So just start doing that in a kitchen and try to develop the recipe, and the rest will follow. The Cliff Bar, the same situation. All started in the kitchen. So if you have a really crazy idea or an idea that you are believing that it might turn good, just follow that. Follow the instinct. Trust yourself and just try. And probably the first product or the first idea will fail.
Sure.
Maybe the second one, the third one also. But you have to keep on trying.
Yeah.
Because probably there will be one thing, there will be one idea, one business that actually can change your life.
Yeah.
Because that was also my story. I was also working for a corporation and it was okay. I didn't quit. I started a plant company.
Sure.
And doing also my 9-to-5 job. Yeah. That was the history.
So I guess, what is it like in Poland? Because like growing up in an Asian household from immigrants from Asia, from not the United States, it wasn't looked as glorious to have to be creative, to have a creative job. It's like be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a nurse, X, Y, and Z in those fields. Those were like elite jobs that were so everyone looked at as like, wow, that's so cool. And
they were cool and they actually can pay your bills.
Sure. But like it was kind of a negative light of, I guess, like being a baker or being a bartender or stuff like that. And did you ever have any of those like feelings from people around you?
Of course. You know, I was studying finance and accounting because I'm from small town.
Sure.
So my parents and actually all of my colleagues thought that being a finance manager or investment banker or lawyer will be a good thing and can actually pay up your bills.
Which it could.
But of course. But it's I know it's not for me.
Sure.
It's not for me. And right now, still there is also a stigma on jobs like bartender or baker because it's not super prestigious. But it's really changing. It's really changing right now.
If you rewind to history, though, bakers and bartenders were looked at very elite.
Yeah.
Like you rewind like a couple hundred years ago. Super past. And like you would wear a suit as a bartender, and like people would come in for conversation, and they would come in for historical facts and all this, and like bakers, people would come in every morning and get their daily loaf of bread, and stuff like that. And I guess, what do you think happened between back then and right now? Like, I know the transition is coming back up to like
totally.
There's a good wave that these creative jobs are seen in a very positive light.
But we are getting back to craftsmanship. And as a society, we are starting actually to putting awards on the craftsmen because we are lacking them. Actually, in Europe, there are a really small percentage of bakers. So there is not a lot of people skilled enough to be a baker, to make a really good loaf. I think in States it's the same situation that because we get used to actually commercialize everything.
Why do you think, I guess, it had that dip over like the last century?
Because I'm thinking that people were moving from villages to the big towns, to the big cities, and wanted to actually be in the industries that can make them a lot of money. And being a baker, like in 50 years ago, or being a bartender, was not something like that. Actually, you can earn something, but it was a low entry level. And you didn't have to have a lot of skills actually to be a baker, for example, at the very beginning in the past. And
but what you just said right now, you just described all the high level skills that you need to be a baker.
I just described
earlier
but right now you don't have to actually, if you are entering this industry and you want to be a baker, you don't have to be high skilled because
initially you don't need to have a degree, you don't need to have
you don't have to study that. You can, for example,
on your own,
or in the Culinary Institute here in San Francisco. There are a great school of bakers, but you don't have to. They will teach you everything. But in the past, it was like actually no one wanted. Like in 50 years ago, because it was a tough job and services exploded. So people wanted to work in a big companies because it was like working with a computer. And it was rather easy. And you can make good money
with benefits and
with
everything.
And right now there is the same situation. If you are working for a big company, it's sometimes super easy.
I didn't
Maybe
think about
you are
that.
not creative, but you're earning good money. The job is not so, maybe it's stressful, but it's not so hard.
I didn't think about that. Because like when I look at those jobs, like I have a couple buddies in finance. And it's super inspiring. Like I'm like, yo, you guys making good money doing what you like. But in reality, they're sitting at a desk cramming numbers every single day. Wow, I didn't think about that.
I know that they're seeing numbers because I was studying that.
You're studying it.
Yeah. And for me, there was like a moment when I thought, oh my God, if my life will look like that, I will literally kill myself, because it's like it was super boring for me because I'm creative inside. And this job is it's not so creative. It's following steps and being into numbers, and being into sitting in front of the desk and just be there in front of your computer.
I guess, how did you deal with that stigma of not continuing that finance path? Because in reality, you studied it, right? And you could still be doing that right now.
Theoretically, yes. But in reality, oh my God, no.
But I guess, how did you deal with the stigma to not stay?
It was tough for my family. Actually, my decision actually to leave that. and to start looking my own way and start actually to building my own history. It was tough for them because they were really worried about me.
They cared about you.
Yeah, they cared about me and they were worried
Yeah.
because when they've heard that I'm want to be part of the gastronomy,
What's that?
the gastronomy, the hospitality business, like the restaurants, cafes, bars, etc.
Yeah.
In Poland, it's gastronomy. Maybe
Gastronomy.
it's a loose gastronomy. It's a loose translation.
Okay.
And people thought that actually you will not make a good money in that. It's really tough business. It's serving people in a most basic way because you're making just a food.
Sure.
And in Poland, like 20 years ago, it was not a good business.
Yeah.
But right now, everything is totally changed.
Yeah.
So if you're a baker right now, you can be like a rock star.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Chad Robertson from Tartin,
Yeah.
I think right now he's like idol. He's like
To
a
a
rock
lot
star
of people.
to a lot of people. So he's super famous.
Yeah.
And a lot of chefs, for example, right now, you see that on the Netflix. Like chefs has their own shows.
Sure.
There was like a chef's table.
Yeah. There's
Sure.
the mixology thing too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now, if you're good into something and you really feel that, you can achieve a success, I think, in everything.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we have so much access to knowledge now.
Yeah.
Like
YouTube University, for example.
YouTube. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you could type in anything and there's most likely some video out there
100%.
that you could start.
Yeah.
Like if you want to edit, if you want to bake, like all you gotta do is type it in. It's so easy.
Yeah.
But the hard part is actually start
Yeah, to do that actually, because
do it.
you can just watch the videos
and not do it.
and not do anything.
You could appreciate the art.
Yeah.
You could appreciate
that's
the art.
good.
'Cause,
Wow.
Because like you could watch you on YouTube, right? And
Yeah.
you're baking this really good loaf of sourdough, and this kid's sitting on the couch wanting to be Michael, right?
Yeah.
And he wants to like learn how to cook sourdough, be a baker, but then turns it off,
Yeah.
goes back to school,
Yeah.
and is like, oh,
The next day. Yeah. But actually, YouTube Universities for me is, it's a tool that you can learn everything there.
Yeah.
When I started making kombuchas, I also started from the video.
Yeah.
And then I had a thought, maybe making hard kombucha.
Yeah.
And there are also plenty of videos there.
Did you see? Have you tasted hard kombucha before you started making it?
No.
No.
No. So I started having no expectation. I didn't know what actually to expect, what it should taste like, and it was good.
But you had kombucha before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had kombucha. So my initial thoughts about that was that the hard kombucha will be like fermented kombucha with a specific kind of flavor that kombucha has, but it will be alcoholic.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe kombucha has a tiny bit of alcohol in it overall.
Not right now, because there was like a tough situation in the States in 2010.
Yeah.
I think that there was a testing of kombuchas, and it turns out that a lot of kombuchas has like 3% of alcohol.
Maybe less.
No, but even there was a kombuchas on the shelves that has particularly almost 3% of alcohol inside.
Even though it's considered non-alcoholic?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was a huge thing.
Because 3% is not a lot, but it's
not a lot, but
a little bit.
If you're
10 years old.
10 years old, or if you're expecting a child, it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Because it should be an alcohol.
So how did they make it unalcoholic?
There are right now there are regulations and specific process actually that can help you as a producer to be 100% sure that there is no alcohol inside. Yeah. So right now they actually almost every producer, I think, 100% sure in America.
Yeah.
They are 100% sure that there is no alcohol, or 0.345% because it's
small.
like it's law regulated.
Yeah.
Here
How do
States.
you make, I guess, kombucha like higher percentage in alcohol?
After the first fermentation stage, so if you are making a kombucha, you have your own brew of tea. You have sugar in that, you have water, and you have SCOBY, like the symbiotic
Yep.
culture of bacteria and yeast. You're
That you use
fermenting
for
that.
baking as well too, right?
Can be used. Can be used. It's
Yeah.
not popular. It's not like something regular,
Yeah.
but can be used.
Okay.
Because it's bacteria and yeast.
Sure.
So after this is my way. Actually, everyone can
Do it
has its
differently.
own. Yeah. But I'm fermenting the regular kombucha for 1 week, so it's like 7 days plus minus
Yeah.
1 day. So it's like 7 days, and after that I'm removing SCOBY
Okay.
from the kombucha, and I'm adding yeasts,
Okay.
which are used to brewing a beer.
Okay.
So I'm adding that kind of yeast, and I'm waiting in the good conditions, like I'm in temperature, for
Sure.
example.
So you're controlling the temperature.
Yeah. I'm waiting 2 another weeks,
Okay.
and after the 3 weeks.
How many weeks?
2.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So after 1 week, there are additional 2 weeks of alcohol fermentation.
Yeah.
And after 3 weeks, I have something like hard kombucha. And then after 3 weeks, I'm adding fruits or something to add the flavor
Okay.
into that. And I'm bottling it,
Yeah.
and I have a hard kombucha.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Because I was telling you about
Like it's super easy recipe. I'm not diving into the technicals.
Sure.
It's like
yeah. I was talking to you about this kombucha bar that I went to in San Diego. I recommend you check it out.
Yeah,
I think
you.
I'll look for
I
it.
will.
I'll look for it and give you the address.
Yeah, thanks.
But I guess what inspired you to like start like making kombucha, and like what's your vision for the future of it?
What inspired me actually to make a kombucha? It is like a super probiotic, good for my health.
Yeah, good for your gut biome.
Yeah, soft drink.
Yeah.
So, and that was the beginning of that.
Sure.
I just really liked drinking that.
And you would make it for yourself.
Yeah, because I'm making it by myself because I was making it because all of the kombuchas that were in shops were too hard for me. It was like too much fermentation specific kind of flavor in it.
Like too carbonated?
No, not carbonated, but the flavor of fermentation. It's like basement feeling. Like
It's like the aftertaste.
Yeah, like
Sure.
the odd aftertaste.
Sure.
It was something that was
Like somewhere in the back.
Yeah, that was something not okay for me.
Okay.
And I find out that if I make fermentation cycle a little shorter, it will make taste profile good for me.
Okay.
So regular kombucha is even fermenting for 2 weeks.
Sure.
And my regular kombucha, which I'm making for myself, is like 5-6 days.
Okay.
So it's like super raw.
Oh, so
like super easy.
It's not super fermented.
No, it's not super fermented.
Yeah.
And it's really good for me and for my friends. So it's okay.
Yeah.
And but
have you been getting good feedback?
Yeah. A lot of my friends actually are telling me that it's the best kombucha they've tried because it's super easy, you know.
Sure.
Because the long fermented kombucha
Just because it's
is
super
like for
easy.
connoisseurs.
Yeah, just because it's super easy doesn't make it good though.
Yeah. And so what inspired me actually to make hard kombucha was my girlfriend.
Shouts out
she
Cornelia.
she liked my kombuchas.
Okay.
She's drinking it regularly because like we have a full fridge on it.
Nice. The small Polish fridges.
Small, yeah. So it's like 4 bottles and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the full fridge.
Yeah.
Not like in your place. But she told me that in California there are a lot of hard kombuchas.
Sure.
So and that's a good thing. And I thought, hard kombucha. So like it's something tastes like that, but has alcohol inside, and maybe it's also good for your health.
Sure.
That can be good. Maybe I will try it.
Well, it's really good marketing. It's like you could get fucked up, but also this is good for you.
Actually, it's not good for you if you deep dive into that.
Oh, okay.
Because all of the good bacteria and yeasts are dying into the alcoholic.
Like there's none left?
No.
Oh.
Rather not. Maybe a little, but it's not actually. There are no evidence that hard kombucha is good for your gut. So the whole marketing about probiotic and the good health influence.
It's all in people's head.
It's all of the marketing actually. Like it's everything is basing on the regular kombuchas because regular kombucha is 100% good for you.
Yeah.
Maybe it will not cure cancer.
Sure.
but it's good for you.
Yeah.
Just like that. But hard kombucha, it's
So-so.
kombucha
Yeah.
with alcohol, but it's not like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just the marketing.
But
for
it's
it.
still, I think, better than beer
Yeah.
because it's has less sugar in that, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. And still can regulate your blood levels.
So what's your vision for it?
For my kombucha or for hard kombucha at all?
For your kombucha.
For my kombucha. So I'm planning to open the hard kombucha brewery in Poland
Okay.
as soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible. And to make a wonderful hard kombucha taste for everybody in Europe.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone should have a chance to actually try that kind of low alcohol beverage.
Yeah.
Because in Europe we drinking beer, cider, wine, vodka, etc.
Sure.
And all the hard stuff. But I'm super amazed about the hard kombuchas here in California. Like they taste really good. They're so easy on drinking, and then you feel like you're really boozy.
Sure. These guys in Poland, they drink, guys. Like you guys do it differently.
You
over
know
there,
something
bro.
about that?
I was like, holy cow! Like this was the night before a wedding, and people are downing full bottles of vodka. And I was like, dang! Like I thought Americans did it crazy. Like these Polish people, the difference between them and us guys is like they don't lose their shit when they are fucked up. Like they hold it together, right? And they'll put down a whole bottle of vodka,
because we had to.
and they will like be so stoic with their knee on their leg, and they're smoking a cigarette, making it look so classy, guys. I was just like, wow, like people need to change over here.
Yeah, like there is a long history of drinking in Europe.
Yeah, I feel like there's a long history of drinking in the United States, though.
Yeah, but I think in Europe is longer.
Oh, really?
Because you came from Europe.
Got it. What do you call it? So, how do you balance everything, bro? Because you're doing this catering company now.
Yeah.
You still have a little bit of the bakery that you're kind of like helping out with once in a while, and now you're doing this like business venture with kombucha.
Yeah.
Like, where do you put your energy? Like, how do you figure out like where to put it on certain days? Because that's super hard to balance.
It's super hard to balance actually, because I would like to have a perfect results on everything.
Yeah.
And that is hard actually to achieve because you have to
so much time in a day.
Yeah, like you have 24 hours and that's it, and you still have to sleep.
Sure.
And I learned that you have to sleep a lot to be actually to be able to function at the level that you want.
Yeah.
So I have to sleep 8 hours per day. So that's it. So what left me? It's like 16 hours. Yeah.
That's interesting because like I understand your point because, for example, like today, the last 5 days, I only had like 4 hours of sleep each day. And like, I'm going through it right now, bro. Like I'm tired. Like my brain's not really functioning, like, you know, stuff like that. And I'm just like, wow, like I need to figure out how to prioritize sleep because I'm a better person the next day and I could concentrate more and harder into those tasks.
Yeah. And your brain is also function in a different way. So if you get a good portion of sleep, you're a totally different person, and you actually can achieve more in a quicker amount of time. Yeah. So how do I prioritize it? It's hard because I have my daily tasks with my catering company, with a bakery stuff.
Yeah.
And kombucha and other stuffs are something like, you know, it's I'm making when I find 20 minutes for something, I will, you know, make a research, make a notes, write an email to someone, like, because I'm on the stage that I'm looking for ingredients. I'm testing process.
Sure.
So I'm making that in my free time.
Okay.
And actually, right now, it's that all of my free time is some kind of my experimenting time.
Okay.
But, you know, making this kind of things is like my hobby. So, like, I'm spending the whole time on doing different things. So, like, 6-8 hours per day is my catering company and the things that pay up my bills. And the rest of it, it's reading, researching, and doing stuff and developing my ideas.
Sure.
And then there is also time for my girlfriend.
Yeah. I was about to say, it's super hard to balance. Like, for me, what I learned is like I kind of cut out going out with friends.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
really like having a good time, you know?
Me too. I don't have social life.
Yeah. And like sometimes I miss it, but most days I really enjoy like the creative acts that I'm doing,
That's it.
you know? And like looking back on it, it's like, would I rather like have fun with these people I really care about, or would I like to grow this empire into something that could like sustain like me, my family, like whatever in the future, you know?
Yeah, because you're working up for your future,
Yeah.
actually, to have more time for yourself and for your family,
Yeah.
for your friends. I'm hoping that, in the 5 years,
Yeah.
I will be able to cut everything off for 3 months,
Sure.
for example,
And just do
come
whatever.
here
Yeah.
to California and just chill.
Yeah.
And just eat your wonderful food,
Yeah.
just drink your wonderful drinks,
Sure.
and just like take up the sun bath.
That's what's up. What do you
Yeah.
call it for Europe has like a different culture of like
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
you know? So I went to Italy and Rome after Poland, and I met this German guy at a hostel, and he's probably like late 40s. And he would tell me he saves up all his money at his like marketing gig every year for 9 months. And then for 3 months, he blows his entire paycheck on traveling the world. And I was like, wow, like that's his rich life though. That's his like enjoyment, you know? And it's so different to America because everyone's like work, 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 work. And I guess when I met you for the first time, I was like, this dude's kind of weird in the sense that you kind of have like the American mentality of like, I'm trying to build shit. I'm trying to make it grow, you know? Like, where do you think that comes from you? Because like you're surrounded by people and an environment that doesn't really prioritize, I guess, building businesses as America does.
I am surrounded by people actually who are super, super different than regular Poles.
As Poles, like Polish people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, for example, my friend is he's managing models,
Like photo shoot models.
like photo shoot models. So he has a lot of he's influenced by way of making business in Asia or in the States.
Okay.
So all of the relationship that we have is like creating also a different perspective for me. My
Sure.
girlfriend lived here for 8 years, for example. So she has like super, super different perspective of making business, of making actually yourself.
Yeah.
And that, for example, are people that I am influenced by. So probably that's it, that I'm influenced by really good people with a really good sense of making something with your life.
Sure.
And that makes me thinking in that kind of way.
The thing is, though, do you think it's better?
I don't know if it's better.
Sure.
It's my way.
Sure.
I think it's good for me because, as we talked, I really like to create something.
Yeah.
I really like to actually make everything from me into that.
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking about, working for 9 months
Sure.
to save up some money for living 3 months.
Yeah.
I just want to live my whole life.
Yeah.
And my working is my imminent part of my life.
Sure.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And my work is, like I said before, it's my hobby.
Yeah.
And I think it's the right way for me.
Yeah.
I think everyone should find their own ways.
Why do you think you enjoy, I guess, like, or what do you think the importance is of like being your job, enjoying your job, enjoying like what you do every single day? Because a lot of people think that they could sacrifice their day, their, I don't know, your 20, 30 years of working and have their good life versus like living a good life every single day, even though you might not be financially where you want initially, like in the first like growing stages, like when you just have those ideas, because obviously like you're not making all the money in the world, right?
Of course.
You're in the building stages.
Yeah.
If you decided to choose that safe path, you would be able to take your girlfriend out to a nice dinner,
Yeah.
you know, or, you know, support your family if you need to,
Yeah.
you know? So like what's the importance?
Or just like feel super safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what's the importance of doing what you love every single day?
You know, I think it's the only way actually I want to live my life, because I want to feel that I am creating something, that I am really following my guts.
Yeah.
I'm into process. I like the beginnings. I
Yeah.
like the uncertainty.
Yeah.
So
It makes life interesting, doesn't it?
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and actually my every day is super interesting for me because I'm trying something and I'm on a constant look for something. And it's like, you know, you're pushing, you're looking for something into your whole life.
Yeah.
And it's super interesting.
Yeah.
And of course I could make a stable job. Probably I'm almost 30, so I can have a lot of money just on my
Sure.
bank account.
Yeah.
But probably that would be also good life.
Yeah.
But that will not be my thing. You know, I'm not. I'm really not into money. I'm rather into searching for some things, for inventing, for creating.
Just meaning.
Just meaning, yeah.
Just something meaningful to you.
Yeah, because I'm thinking just I'm taking care of my life, and I'm doing it in the way I like it.
Yeah.
And
your way might not be the way for someone else.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call it? So I've seen a transition in the, how do you say it? Gastronomy?
Yeah, gastronomy.
Hospitality in the U.S. I've seen changes in the hospitality industry tremendously, especially in the United States. And it's not as good.
It's not as good.
Yeah. So for example, like you'll go to a restaurant and it might be a nice product. The food might be really good, but the server might not know everything on the menu. The server might not be able to describe everything. And it's, for them, it's just a job, not like something that they really enjoy. And not saying that there are people not out there. I'm sure there's people out there who treat it as an art, right? Because like I have some acting friends, they go into work and they treat it like they're on a stage, right? They're trying to please people. They're trying to like be in the movie. They're the server in the movie, right? And they're trying to give the guests the best experience, you know? But I would say that level of effort is not there anymore. Do you see that in Poland at all? Because I see it decline tremendously, and with the invention of AI, with technology and stuff like that, you can order stuff on iPad, it'll come here. You know, you order it in the front, come there. What's the importance of gastronomy, of hospitality, to the whole customer guest experience?
Oh, beside food, actually, in the hospitality industry, the customer service is the most important thing. And if you are going to the restaurant and you're having a dinner, you want to be like in a dream. A dream.
Okay.
So you don't want no one actually to wake you up from that dream. And the waiter, for example, waitress, should be like your guide in that dream. And that is something I am looking for when I'm looking for partners to work with me. And but it is the thing that right now there are not a lot of people that can be that kind of guide.
Yeah.
They want to put their ego in that kind of job.
Sure.
Or they are simply just not interested in that, because they will be like for 6, 8, 10 hours and then get back to their real life. So they're treating their waiter job just like any other job. But in hospitality, you need to be a specific person who wants to actually service the people in the most pleasant, most exciting way.
Yeah.
But right now, actually, I am really agree with you what you observed, that the level of service in Europe is also declining. So in Warsaw, there are a lot of good places where I can eat wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
But level of services is
low.
Super low. The people are rude.
Yeah.
Like in most places, they're rude. And
Why do you think it's declining?
I will start there as 1 star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think the level of service is declining?
I mean, because I think that it is about the thing that we're not interested as a people.
Yeah.
Generally, I think we are losing interest in other people.
Sure.
So we are not about making someone else's life like better. We don't want to serve anyone. We just want to be like, super easy with ourselves. We just want to be, we just want to feel as a waiter, feel good with us.
Sure.
It's important for us.
Yeah.
And they are even, sometimes waiter are mad that because their guests are not feeling them right and not treating them right. And it's of course an awful situation where the guest is treating waiter not in the right way. But still, if you are a waiter, for example, you're into service and you have to service someone well.
At least that's what it should be.
It should be. Yeah, it should be. But it's not, because I think that the young people working in the hospitality business, they are not feeling that. They are going there because it's easy to get a job there, easy to earn something.
Yeah.
But they are not treating it as a business.
As a profession.
As a profession.
Yeah.
And, when exactly you saw the waiter that was like 50 years old?
Yeah.
There are no waiter like that.
No, there's not a
anymore.
lot. There's some, but
of course, in a super high-profile restaurants, for example,
there's some. Yeah, especially like the tips at a super high-profile restaurant are more than a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
You just think about it. Like if the meal is around $10,000 and you tip around 15-20%.
Yeah.
Like $200.
Yeah, but in States, the regular tip is 20%.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. And people, that's the thing that I'm seeing right now is like, I used to see 20% being the best quality, right? You get a feeling in this dream, right? In this dream, I like to describe hospitality as a dance, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So like the guest or the customer knows to stack their plates, and then they know that a server's gonna come get it and pick it up, right? And then you know that the water is empty. You're gonna move out of the way for the server to fill your water. So it's like a dance.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the guest too that is like responsible for this dance, this dream. And I feel like they're not educated as well. But the guests as well. But saying that, as a server or a waiter or a bartender or whatever, you shouldn't let the guest determine the experience. It's still your responsibility to make them have that dream, right? And they have this ego that like, oh, no matter what I do, I should get 20%. If you rewind even 10 to 15 years ago, 20% when you pay is like, I had the best dream ever.
Yeah.
And now they're just expecting it with...
Right now, here, they have like the iPads with the tip that it's randomly
18, 20, 22%.
Yeah. And they're waiting just with you and looking at you if you are just click the 20% tip.
Yeah.
And it making me feeling obligated.
Awkward. It makes you feel obligated.
Of course, that I have to actually make them make the tip.
Yeah.
Like 20%. It's a super high tip in Europe.
Yeah.
Because in Europe, we regularly pay
it's
10.
like 5, 10, 15%.
Yes. Yeah, and that's it. And even a lot of people are not paying that kind of tip.
Yeah.
Because if you are not well served, you are just not paying the tip.
0 tip.
Because you are lefting the tip in cash.
Yeah.
In Poland, for example.
Sure.
But here, it's on
right
the
there.
iPad.
Yeah. So like that's why I was asking you if like you saw the decline, because like over here, in my opinion, I just think the hospitality industry is declining because of technology, because of like people who just expect that 20% is the norm.
Yeah, it's a new normal.
Yeah, when in reality, you should be giving a great experience to receive that tip.
Because the tip should not be obligatory.
It's not.
It should be always like an act of appreciation someone.
Yeah.
But right now here in States, I see that it's not.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was buying donuts, which was good.
Good. Where did you go?
I don't remember. The Big Star Donut.
Big Star Donut.
Big Star Donut.
I don't think I've been there.
Oh, with mimosa glaze.
Ooh,
oh my god.
Mimosa glaze? I'm gonna try it out.
What a dough.
Yeah.
I don't know actually how they made it, but
you're interested. You're gonna try to make it.
Yeah. I will try to make it when I get back to Poland. But So it was like just a shop, regular,
Sure.
almost like a bakery.
Yeah.
I just pop into, buy 2 bagels,
Yeah.
and I wanted just to quickly pay and get out. But after I paid, it was like if I want to get a tip,
Yeah.
like
It's like,
for
what did they do?
Like they just packed the donut in a package
Yeah.
and just get me.
Yeah.
But I did the 20% tip.
Because you feel obligated.
So, yeah, I feel obligated. So
Yeah.
it was every tipping here is super expensive.
Well, tipping here like makes like that's why I think it's so expensive to eat out.
Yeah,
Because no matter what, like you just feel obligated to do so.
Yeah, so it's always add 20%
Yeah.
to the every dish that you're ordering.
What's your definition of happiness?
My definition of happiness
Yeah.
is a feeling of calmness.
Calmness.
I think. Yeah. If I'm not stressing about anything, if I feel like inner calm, and if I have my close friends, close people around me,
Sure.
I feel super happy.
What does what does having good people in your life do for you?
Oh, everything.
How so?
Actually, because like my closest people, like my girlfriend, for example, she is my partner in life. So every business idea I have, I'm consulting.
You run it by her.
Yeah. Every stupid joke, just throwing at her.
Nice.
Like, so having a close people with me is actually making sense of my life. Like, I am able to create anything because the fact that I have these people.
Yeah.
If I will be lonely, probably I will struggle with being creative and with creating a lot of stuffs and taking care of like new businesses and etc.
That's ironic because I would say business is a very lonely path.
Maybe not
Why
for
not?
me, not for me. I have never done anything all by myself. I'm always looking for partners at my every venture. So even now, if I'm looking for possibilities with hard kombucha business, I'm also looking for a partner, for someone with whom, I can have a deep conversation about the product, about the processes. I don't like to be alone in any kind of business.
Oh.
So even the bakery was
How do you find good
done
partners?
together with my father. I think I have an access to a large pool of people. So I am really into people. So I like talking with them and having a deep conversation. So I have a sense who they are, what they like, what they're good at. So if I have some kind of a business idea,
Sure.
I'm thinking about the people I know, they are around, and I'm just scheduling up a coffee. I'm talking with them and I'm proposing. So actually no one ever proposed a business to me, but I was recently thinking about that. I like proposed a business to, I don't know, maybe 20 people
It's a lot.
in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of people actually, even if I sometimes quit the business, they left there. And
Because of you.
yeah.
Because
And,
they wanted to be your partner.
Yeah. And right now, a lot of people, a lot of my friends have good businesses, which we started together. But that's something that I observed, that I am a good initiator. So I'm really good at starting something, like giving a spark to something.
I find it hard to get partners because your passion for baking might not be good as your friends.
Yeah.
So like you're putting a lot of effort into it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you're putting 90% and the other 10% is your girlfriend, everything else in your life. And your partner is doing 50% of like their life, And sometimes that might bug me in a business adventure. That's why I choose to do a lot of things on my own. But right now, like growing the podcast and everything, I see that like eventually I can't do everything by myself. I guess like for you, how do you deal with like a partner not having as much passion as you do for the project?
I think don't have a lot of expectations. Like think of it like, okay, I need from you to make that kind of thing, that kind of thing, that kind of thing, and that's it. You, as a initiator of something,
Sure.
Need to actually cover up everything almost.
What do you mean cover up?
like cope with everything, and your partner will be just like your help. Maybe it will. I am not expecting that my partner will be like 50-50.
Okay.
So I will be happy if my partner will be 20.
Okay.
For example, I can cope with 80% of the business because it is my business idea, and I know how to do that.
Sure.
And I just need a help. I just need a companionship in that kind of journey.
Yeah.
So that is how I'm making something with my partners. And maybe during the time, it will just get out that he or she is really into.
Yeah.
She's like enjoying it. And maybe would like to be more invested or be more into that,
into the business.
But I'm not expecting anyone that will be fully engaged with the business, because people right now are so distracted.
So just have low expectations. That's good advice.
Because people really are distracted. They are doing and they are spending a lot of time on social media, for example. And even look at that, how many times did you catch up on yourself that people are not paying attention what you are saying on your talk, because they are checking the last message on Instagram. That's super frustrating. But I somehow learned to live with it. And this is the same thing in business or doing everything.
And that's why I feel like you had a low expectation in that conversation, so you didn't really care. Like you had the low expectation, so like you learned to cope with it. Does that make sense? Yeah. And one thing that like I guess we had a deep conversation in Poland. We met like one time, 2 times, right?
2 times.
2 times.
It was 2 nights.
2 nights. And
it was like booty calls.
And one thing about it, like when I had a good conversation with you, I was like, yo, this dude's asking interesting questions, because like a lot of people don't ask good questions, and therefore you don't learn a lot about the person. And that's why I like talking to people, because everyone has a story that you could learn from. And I feel like social media is taking away like the personality of things. Like how many people are meeting each other on dating apps, not talking like shit about dating apps, but like
because it can be good,
because it could be good. You could find I was a best man for someone who they met their wife on Bumble. You know? And
Bumble is something like Tinder.
Similar. Yeah, it's except the girl gets to decide if you guys match.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So
it's her choice.
It's her choice, which I think is a good idea. Like, cool.
Why not?
Or not. Or not.
It's always her actually decision.
It's always, right? Girls have some power, dude. Yeah. Right between their legs, they got some power, bro. They're just all over you.
They just have power.
But back to my points, like, I feel like the personality of people are like, how many people go to a bar or like a restaurant or a library and spark up a conversation, or go to a wedding and spark up a conversation that's meaningful, that you could learn something from. And I feel like that's going away too, Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, totally. Because I think that the social media drained people attentions to anything, because they are used to scroll. And they're used to just have a grasp on something like, oh, okay, she's here. Yeah, she's here. Okay, I know what my friends are doing. I'm good with that. And people are not interested anymore, I think, in having a conversation, in going deep into someone else. And that also affects relationships, because people are, for example, together. And they're living together, but they're not spending time together. They're not together at all. They are just like close to each other. Oh, sorry.
No.
They're not close to each other. They are in the same area.
Sure.
But they are not close.
They're not coexisting.
They are not, they are not interested in each other. They are not willing to ask questions. They are, even then, if they ask question, they don't want the answer.
Really care.
They don't really care about
it's
the
like
answer.
when someone asks you, like, how you doing today?
Yeah.
And
Here in States, it's like, hi, how are you?
Good.
Hey,
bye.
How was your day? Yeah,
and they don't. And when someone's like, "Oh, it was great. I went to go see my grandma today. I went to go play some pickleball. I went to the gym." They're like, "I don't care, bro. I didn't actually mean for you to say something."
Yeah,
which
it's just long regular sentence of good morning.
Yeah, which is like kind of empty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
Is it more meaningful in Europe, you would say?
In Europe, I don't recognize that people will say hi to you. Hi, how are you? No.
No one does that.
It's like good morning, sir.
That's it.
Yeah, good morning. It's like that. So there will be no how are you. there is not a lot of
It's like you'll
small
walk by
talk
you'll
in
walk by
Europe.
someone and you'll just say hi, and then you just keep going.
You only say hi if you know that person.
Oh, so you won't
So
even
you'll
say hi.
never say hi to someone you don't know,
Why do you think
because
that
it will
is?
be like strange. And I think it will, if you say hi for someone who is older than you,
Yeah.
it will be, oh, why the guy told hi to me? Super strange. Why? Is he like mental or something?
Really?
Yeah. Because
Why do you think it like
we're,
it? It's
we're
like that?
close. Like we're super private.
Yeah.
So we are not talking to strangers.
Ah.
You know, try in Europe to ask someone about the hour, about the time, or about the directions. It will be like the first like impression will be like super strange. So people will be thinking about you that you maybe are mental, or you maybe strange guy. Maybe they will fear you even.
That's interesting.
Because you just you know, interrupt them.
It's like not normal over there.
It's not normal.
Ah.
But here, you know, today I was in a park, and there was a guy, the old veteran.
Yeah.
He had like a vest with the old
All the badges.
all of the badges, and he was doing his dog. And we just started a conversation, and it was like a 10 minutes conversation.
That's awesome.
I just like about the dogs, about the life, about the weather, everything. In Europe,
Doesn't happen.
no chance.
Dang, I probably looked like a maniac because I didn't understand like signs really, and I didn't really speak the language. So I'd hop on a train in like Berlin or in Italy, right? And I'd be like, "Hey, I don't speak the language, guys. Like, can someone on this train help me get to like this place?" And most people like didn't say anything, but there's a couple like tourists. There's a ton of tourists in Europe.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Yeah, I got you. Over here, I'll show you around." But I didn't really think about that because now that you said that, I'm rewinding and playing that vision in my head. I was like, all the locals didn't speak up and was like, I got you. I'll tell you
No,
where.
the locals will be like, "Ooh, not me."
Yeah, they were
not
like,
me.
who is this guy?
Yeah.
That's
They're not
interesting.
eager actually to have a conversation at all.
Do you treat life like a game?
Yeah, 100%. Like,
Do you think that's healthy?
yeah, why not? You know, I think we were growing up playing computer games, and for me, like being here in Los Angeles is like playing GTA, like Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
Auto.
How
like,
so?
No, you know, because I know like the streets from this kind of game. I'm not talking that I will go and just try to steal your car.
Break in, drive down Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, but still, for me, it's like the game. But you know, taking your life as a game is for me like trying to look for a formula or for a strategy to how to achieve something. Like for me, money is like something I can, you know,
It's like a tool.
Yeah, it's like a tool because I can buy something because of the money. Using that,
And it can get you like I guess in a video game, a car, a gun.
Yeah.
Like in life, it's like I don't know, like a
food,
business program,
like
food.
a business program, yeah. And it can also be used for something else to sometimes make more money.
Sure.
So I think if you grow up with doing computer games, it's super easy actually to treat a life like gaming. And sometimes I even catch up myself that, you know, yesterday we were riding bikes on Venice, on Culver City.
Culver City, yes.
Yeah, Culver City. And
beautiful area.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. It was like Italy a little bit for me.
I don't know about that.
Because there are like the different architecture here, some kind of Spanish sometimes, some kind of Italy influence, and we grabbed the bikes there, and we had to go somewhere in Culver City, meet a girl, and she will get out the keys for something, and then we can go to Venice, and it was for me like a game, like a playing, you know, RPG.
It's like, how do I get from here to here?
Yeah, to here and complete a mission, and I think it's a good way of treating life because I think it's more pleasurable.
I like to think of life as a game because, especially in business, I was like, what tools do I need to get to where I want to be? You know, and in reality, it's just people, programs, education. So if you get these tools, it's honestly 100% you will get to where you want to be, you know, and I feel like not enough people treat it like that. They say it's like God's plan, or it's my destiny's already written out, and maybe that makes them happy. Maybe that's their like fate.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, you have total control of your life, man. Like you could decide to read a tartan book
Yeah.
and become a baker, and then eventually start like become the best baker in all of Poland, right?
Yeah.
And objectively, if you know like your marketplace, you're like, there's not a lot of good bakers in Poland. You know, I'm gonna get really good at this craft. I'm gonna read the books. I'm gonna talk to the right people, and I'm gonna get to where I want to be. You know.
Yeah.
And
it's the strategic approach to that.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing like if you were playing like medieval or something like
Sure.
that in your young times.
Yeah.
But there are no cheats probably.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no cheats. No
Yeah.
cheats in life.
Yeah.
There might be a
That's pity. Like,
there might be a shortcut if like I don't know, your grandma dies and you get like $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm gonna start this business, and then in reality, like you might have not had that tool.
Yeah.
You know, and that might have been a shortcut.
Yeah, but if you start up a business with $1 million because your grandma died, it can also end up badly because you will not have the rest of the tools and the knowledge and the
Yeah.
experience.
Sure.
You will probably fail.
Yeah. One thing that I've related to that was I was living in a big house in LA, right? I was blessed to have like a roommate who provided me with like a nice space. We had like a pool, a gym, like a 4-bedroom house, right?
Yeah.
For two
in
guys.
LA, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
For a bedroom house.
Right. It's
In Europe, it's like a castle.
sure, in Europe it's a castle. But like over here I was like I wasn't ready for that because I didn't have the tools to like mow the lawn, like learn about bills and taxes for a house or like, that aspect. And I was like, oh, like maybe that was like a shortcut that I did not need, but it taught me the lesson that I'm not ready for that yet, because sometimes like there's a little bit luck in life, and sometimes you get something that you're like, oh, I didn't deserve that, and then you realize like, oh, this is why I didn't deserve it, So
Yeah, it was a great lesson for you.
yeah,
That was not a point in your life
yeah,
that you should do that kind of stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for in your life right now?
Right now, right now I'm most excited of being here.
Sure.
Because for me it's like super amazing being here in Los Angeles, in California. Whoa, I'm really looking into my today going to Walmart's. Not Walmart, sorry, to the Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
Because I have never been to Whole Foods right now. So Whole Foods is my next adventures. I'm super happy about that.
Yeah.
But generally in life, I am...
I mean, that's something to be excited about for sure.
Yeah. Like being in California is super exciting for people from Europe. Like,
Yeah, so
time.
when I talked to you in Europe, you knew a lot. I mean, this is maybe me talking shit about me as an American. It's like you knew so much about the U.S.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people over there knew so much about like United States culture, about like shoe culture or like entertainment culture. And I was like, I don't even know this. And I was like, why is that? Why is like people in Europe so obsessed with like things that happen in the United States? Why is that?
I think like we have a really good educational system.
Yeah.
So we are in Poland and in Europe, I think we are generally well educated.
Sure.
I don't know how actually it looks like here.
Okay.
But we have a good basics of the wide knowledge.
Okay.
Maybe we even know too much because it's not everything that we are learning is useful for us.
Okay.
For example, I was like learning a lot of history.
About
The world history.
Okay.
Yeah, the general history. And I learned a lot and I know a lot.
Sure.
But of course, it's helpful in every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
But maybe I should spend more time when I was in high school for learning how to make business or something like that.
Yeah.
Not history at all, you
Sure.
know. And maybe it will be more useful for me. But the fact is that we are in capitalism right now.
Sure.
We are into Instagram. We are into Facebook.
Yeah.
And these are all companies from here. So they are, we are seeing a lot of pictures from you guys wearing that kind of boot, that kind of stuff. Like you made an iPhone and we all want iPhone. Like your culture is something that we prioritize even above our European one because you are living our dream a little bit. That's the perspective of.
Why is it a dream?
Because you are a wealthy nation. You have a good army.
Yeah.
You have a good politics from our perspective.
Yeah.
I know you have your own struggles, but from perspective of a European guy, your country is like a dream country for me. And right now, if I visit here, Los Angeles, this is the first time in my life that I'm thinking, oh my God, why I'm not American?
Yeah.
I would love to be American guy.
So like, is that a goal of yours now? That's such a shocking thing for me to hear, because like when I went to, I guess, your environment, I was like, oh, like this is a part of the world where people are very close to their families. Like their architecture is very, I guess in Europe overall, is very old, and they have like really good roots versus like the United States. My parents like came from the Philippines and Laos, and I was like, I don't know much about my roots, like I'm encompassed in, especially Los Angeles, so many different types of cultures, people from Europe, people from Asia, people from like Mexico, for like, all these things. And I was like, maybe like it is better to like know like where you came from and like all the aspects of that culture. But on the other hand, like it does sound romanticized, just like, wow, like there's so many different types of people here and they could like make it.
Yeah, and they are mixing, and you are here and you can eat all of the kind of food in the world, and they are all authentic because all of the people are here
and they're from those countries.
And they are from those countries. But again, I'm here, and this is a really big city. Yeah. Like how many people live in LA? Like 20 million?
A lot. Maybe more than that.
Maybe more. Yeah. So like a lot of people. Like it's almost half of the population of Poland. Yeah. Like in a one city. Yeah. Still, you have an ocean. Yeah. You have beaches. Yeah. The weather is super amazing. Sure. You have a lot of possibilities because there is a lot of business here. Yeah. So you can do finance here, you can do film here, you can do hospitality business here, and all of the other industries. Yeah. And you still can work from, for example, Monday to Friday. Sure. And after work, you can go swim into the ocean or you can surf. Yeah. And then you have the Big Bear, yeah? Yeah. Am I right?
Right
like
here.
2 hours?
2 hours.
Away?
Yeah.
And you have snow?
You can go
and
skiing.
You can go skiing? Oh my God. Is it like a dream?
The same day I had a goal to go skiing in the morning and then surfing in the afternoon. Yeah. And I did it. It's possible. It's possible to do it here.
I know, and it's super crazy for me in Europe because we don't have such a geographical possibility. Sure. Like when I'm living in Warsaw and I would like, for example, to kite surfing, I have to go like for 4 hours to the sea. Yeah. Then kite surf. Yeah. And then get back. And it will be not possible. And if I would like to go skiing, it will take me like 6 hours. Mm-hmm. So it will not be possible. Yeah. And still, we have like a real winter in Warsaw. Like it's 0 right now.
It's freezing.
It's freezing. Yeah. And here, like it's winter.
Yeah, it's winter. And you can decide to go skiing if you want to.
Yeah. Or surfing.
Or surfing if you want to. It's going to be cold. It is going to be cold. But
so right now for me, like I think it's my goal.
Is it?
To maybe not like move to LA completely, but to be able to live here for like 3 months
of the year.
For example, like to have a possibility that like that. Yeah.
That's interesting that you say here. Like you guys romanticize United States a lot because we don't know much about like your culture. Yeah. We maybe nothing. Some people don't even understand that world exists. Yeah. Like I live with people
like
who
old world.
Yeah, and like a lot of people here, like they might not even ever go out of their hometown. Mm-hmm. They will never experience Europe, experience Poland, experience Asia, and like that is like their world, and like they don't know anything better. And like you guys were educated on like world history. Yeah. Why do you think Europe is so into, I guess, the history of the world when the United States isn't?
I think because there were like a really bad shit in history that took advantage on Europe. Yeah. Like, I mean, there was a lot of wars. Sure. And a lot of crime and a lot of bad things happened to people living in Europe. And even in the last century, like we had the First World War and then the Second World War.
Sure.
And for example, Poland was like super touched.
Yeah.
Let's put it in that kind words.
Sure.
But this world, of course.
Especially like recently.
Yeah.
Like Ukraine and everything too.
Recently also, like there is a huge conflict in our border. And that's the thing that almost 2 or 3 millions of Ukrainian people came to Poland right now.
I know.
And we are super mixed.
Yeah.
And even the company I'm working with right now
For the catering?
for catering, I'm only one Polish guy.
Okay.
All the rest are Ukrainian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. So that's actually how it looks like right now in Poland.
Yeah.
But so we experienced the history in a bad way, I think, in Europe. And that is why I think everyone is super obsessed about learning that and taking something out of learning the history to make actually a better future.
For themselves.
But yeah.
What's your favorite pastry to make?
Pastry? My favorite pastry is actually the basic yeast bun.
What's that?
The yeast bun is like a super basic bun.
Bun. Okay.
With a cinnamon, for example, filling. It's like
Donut?
cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll. Okay.
Cinnamon roll, but I like it with vanilla. Vanilla cream, vanilla cheese, and fruits on top of that.
Ooh, you're getting me hungry, bro.
I should make it sometime for you.
Yeah, I'm willing to. If you want to come down and like live like here for a week or something, you're more than welcome to. I'm serious.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I'd love to learn some baking, bro.
Yeah, I can teach you actually.
For I guess baking purposes, if someone wants to become a baker, because like back to what you said, like it's becoming more in demand. You know, like when I go to my local bakery down the street and I get like the best chocolate croissant, I appreciate it so much. It gives
like
me
the chocolate filling.
The chocolate filling, bro. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like it's like crispy on the outside, melting in your mouth with a little bit of sweetness. I don't eat it a lot because obviously
a lot
like
of butter in
there's a lot of butter and you shouldn't be eating it every day. But like I treat myself
why
there
not?
sometimes. Why not? Why not?
Why
Life's
not? If
short,
you're
right?
training,
But I guess what's your advice to some like little kid out there who like has the pressure of his parents wanting him to go into like the finance field or the medical field, and this guy's just like watching YouTube about like how to bake. Like how does he decide or do what you're doing?
I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
So don't be scared of anyone that telling you that it's not the good thing actually to follow through your life. Like follow your passion. If you are really thinking about baking, that's it. Yeah. Just go on that. Yeah. And find a mentor. Yeah. It's actually the most important thing. So if you are able to work, just find a good bakery that is putting all of the heart of the quality ingredients, of the quality of the goods they are making, and try to work for them for as long as you need to actually learn the basics. And after that, experiment. And maybe one day you will find yourself as a bakery owner, as a baker professional.
There we go.
Making videos on YouTube and inspiring a lot of
other people.
And
do
the
you
next,
do that?
No, not yet. Okay. But I'm planning actually to make a YouTube channel maybe. Okay. With some baking. Yeah. Not cooking, but baking.
What do you tell people who don't have a passion, who are looking for it, who want to do something creative, but they just don't know what to do? What would you tell them?
I think 100% they have their passion, but they are not letting it.
Say that again?
They have passion. Not passion.
Patience? Oh, passion.
The passion.
Yeah.
I don't believe that people
don't have passion.
Are people without the passion. For example, there is something that you are passionate about. So you maybe just don't letting it to yourself. Yeah. Like you're just thinking that maybe watching TV is not a passion, but maybe you like, I don't know, maybe you like drinking cocktails,
Yeah.
for example.
Sure.
So maybe if you go further on that,
Yeah.
maybe if you deep dive into that,
Yeah.
you will find that making a cocktail is something that you're really into,
Yeah.
and just follow it.
So try things basically.
Try things. Yeah. Try everything actually.
Yeah. And just see
Yeah,
what
even if
see what
it's
sticks.
yeah, even if something is really stupid and you think that you can make pens on that, just try it, because not on everything you have to earn money, but from the first point of view, something could be not potentially rewarding in the future.
Yeah.
But if you go through and if you follow your heart,
Yeah.
after that, it will just
Come to fruition.
Yeah.
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 I love that, brother. Thank you for coming on. And
Thank you for inviting
where
me.
can everyone find you? So like where's your bakery? Where's it at? Your Instagram, stuff like that.
Okay.
Where can people find you?
Okay, so maybe we will put my Instagram account.
I'll put in the links, the
in the
description.
link, because it's Michal Depa, but it will be hard actually. I think
To spell.
to spell.
Just spell it out.
To spell, yeah. No, it's okay.
put it in.
We will
I'll
put
put it
that.
in
We
the
will put
description.
that, yeah. And my bakery is in Warsaw right
Yeah.
now, and in Zgorzelec. So if
And what's it called?
Chlebowzięci.
That's a tough one. I don't know if I could do that.
That's the Polish. That's the Polish name. But the other one is like a sour bakery.
Okay.
So it's like a sour.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
It's in Warsaw.
do you know the name for the kombucha company yet?
Yeah, it will be Kombucha Sun, but not like sun, like the warm object.
Yeah.
But it will be like Japanese sun, like sun, like the minister.
Huh.
Yeah.
Why did you come up with that name?
Why? Because it's phonetically,
Yeah.
it's like sun. But if you're written it down, it's like a mister
Sure.
from Japanese, and the kombucha is rooted in the Asian culture because they made it up.
That's what's up,
So,
dude.
yeah,
Thank you so much for
so-
coming on. This was a blast.
Thank
All the
you,
way
Nate.
from Warsaw, Poland.
Yeah.
And
From
yeah,
Europe.
we'll see you the next time, guys. And if you're ever in Poland, go check out the bakery. Go check out Michael on Instagram. And hopefully we'll see Kombucha Sun. And
Hopefully Polish kombucha.
Hopefully we'll see Polish kombucha. Hopefully we'll see the YouTube videos, baking videos coming soon. Yeah, thanks for the inspiration, bro. Like when I first met you, like I was inspired from that conversation, and it's cool to literally have you here.
Yeah.
And it just shows like the world's small, and then you could affect like really cool people.
Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, Nate.
All right, see you guys. Have a good one.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.